But Meri, he says so much stuff about us publicly. What else is he going to say?
And that's the same thing Jen says. She says,
Robyn,
Meri,
I think, was the last to give up on the dream, but she's finally consented. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell. I'm pretty positive that Meri and Janelle want to sell.
in the email,
Yeah.
hey, let's do this, or I'm going to have to get some lawyers involved.
Yeah.
I'm just as guilty as them, but they're just as guilty as I am.
I really don't.
So what
I would just make sure that what you're getting is fair. It's
She was
property.
probably
I'm going to suggest to you that you protect your interests in it as far as what you're entitled to, a quarter of it.
I don't know what to expect from Kody. He's been kind of an ass about the property, so he might be an ass about it as we go move forward. Who
She
knows?
says, Meri, he brought it on himself. You warned him. You told him in the email.
On the dry deserts of Flagstaff, Arizona, is a piece of property called Coyote Pass. To the naked eye, it's nothing more than dirt, dust, and scrub brush. But to one man, this property was fate. Kody Brown. Polygamist. Patriarch. Star of TLC's Sister Wives. The man who thought that he could convert a dry desert into an empire? His empire. Kody vowed to his wives, his kids, and his millions of followers that this would be the crown jewel of the Brown family legacy. One piece of land. One kingdom. For homes. One patriarch. His vision of a united future. But sandcastle dreams don't work. Because underlying those vows were fault lines, not in the earth, but in the paperwork, and when those cracks opened wide, everything Kody believed he possessed, everything he believed he was in charge of, started to fall apart around his feet. This is not the story TLC presented to you. This is not the shiny narrative of oneness, being together, or family. This is the narrative of betrayal, secret fortune, and the most surprising coup in Sister Wives history. The wife Kody believed he ruled over, the wife he described as practical, quiet, predictable, was the same one that would strip the land from his kingdom and reveal secrets he hoped would never be revealed. That wife was Janelle. While Christine discovered her freedom, while Meri fought to maintain, and while Robyn reveled in Kody's favoritism, Janelle played another game. She was not dramatic. She was not desperate, she waited. Watched. Figured. And while Kody was bragging about his authority, Janelle was covertly accumulating her strength. Bit by bit. For years, she kept the family's money together, not for accolades, not for admiration, but because she knew someone had to. And each check she wrote, each tax she paid, each receipt she kept, was a weapon. She was not balancing the books, she was constructing an argument. Kody's empire wasn't constructed on loyalty. It wasn't constructed on unity. It was constructed on paperwork. And that paperwork was faulty. What Kody could never have conceived, not in his paranoid fantasy, was that Janelle would be the one to locate the cracks and drive a stake right through the center of his empire. Before we turn the page on the secret paperwork, the legal loopholes, and the scandalous crypto rumors, make sure you subscribe now. On this channel, we show you the truth TLC doesn't want you to know about behind Sister Wives. Click that bell icon, because the next shocker will leave you breathless. The paper trail nobody read, empires don't fall overnight, they unfurl. Slowly, bit by bit, until the truth cannot be denied. For Kody Brown, the unfurling started with something so innocently mundane, paperwork. The land at Coyote Pass wasn't merely symbolic. It wasn't merely a dream. It was a legally enforceable patchwork puzzle of deeds, loans, and ownership filings. On the surface, it was neat. But behind the scenes? Chaos. Janelle was the only one who caught on. The deeds weren't finalized. There were missing signatures. Filings hadn't been completed. Errors big enough to bring down everything Kody said he possessed. And here's the kicker, Kody either didn't notice it, or didn't care. For years, as Kody bragged about being the head of the family, it was Janelle who worked behind the scenes to keep the land running. She paid property taxes, she paid mortgage payments. She bore fiscal burdens while Kody paraded in front of the cameras. And each time she wrote a check, she kept a record. Receipts. Copies. Records. She wasn't just balancing the books. She was maintaining leverage. To the family, it appeared like obligation. To Kody, it appeared like compliance. But in truth, Janelle was building evidence. Piece by piece, she was becoming the quiet owner of Coyote Pass, not through arguments. Not through battles. But through cold, irrefutable paper. When lawyers finally had a chance to examine the documents, their response was unanimous. Kody's empire was riddled with holes, holes that could be used by anyone who possessed the receipts. And that individual was Janelle. For the first time, she was aware of the fact. In a legal sense, she had a better right to Coyote Pass than Kody ever had. She wasn't merely a wife. She wasn't merely a participant. She was, technically, the basis of the empire itself. Lawyer, if you wanted to, you could take it all. Kody never read the fine print. But Janelle did, and what she discovered wasn't sloppy management alone. It was the secret to claiming the land, the empire, and the authority that Kody assumed as his entitlement. If you've been watching Sister Wives for years, you know how frequently Janelle was underestimated. Do you believe she orchestrated this all along, or did she just seize her moment when the door was open? Drop your theory in the comments, I'm reading every single one. Janelle's secret weapon, in every empire, there is a weapon hidden in plain sight. For Kody Brown, that weapon was not his charisma, not his leadership, and certainly not his vision. That weapon was Janelle. To viewers, Janelle was the practical wife. The quiet one. The wife who remained drama-free, who did not crave the spotlight. She was not as explosive as Christine. She was not as clingy as Meri. And she was not as manipulative as Robyn. But what the cameras failed to capture was that Janelle was the one holding the family together financially. She was the numbers. She was the balance sheets. She was the lifeline. Every dollar that came in, every bill that went out, Janelle accounted for it. She wasn't budgeting. She was chronicling. And what appeared to be responsibility back then turned into leverage later on. Because every receipt said something. And that something wasn't Kody's. It was hers. Mortgage payments? Janelle made them. Property taxes? Janelle paid them. Maintenance, utilities, surprise expenses? Time and time again, Janelle, and every time, she kept evidence. Receipt by receipt, paper by paper, she was not only guaranteeing survival. She was constructing a fortress of evidence. A fortress that Kody never anticipated. To everyone on the outside, Janelle was obedient. To the other women, she was dutiful. But the truth is, she was cunning. Every financial act of deprivation was an act of power too. And that power was building. Kody thought power was from speeches, from dictation, from charm. Janelle understood. Power is from evidence. And she had it all. Lawyer Mrs. Brown. With this record, you could own not only your share, but the whole thing. It was no longer just paper. It was ammunition. It was a weapon honed in quiet, patience, and precision, and with it, Janelle now had the ability to bring down the patriarch of Coyote Pass. The supposedly quiet wife was no longer a mere wife. She was the waiting queen. And when the time was right to strike, she would employ that weapon to bring down Kody's rule. For good. Do you think Janelle always plotted this? Or was it a revenge play after years of neglect by Kody? Drop your theories in the comments, your answers may just uncover the truth about her game. The breaking point. Every empire has a breaking point. For years, Kody Brown paraded along Coyote Pass as if it were already his kingdom, inviolate, unimpeachable, his by fate. But empires aren't supported by dreams, they're supported by laws. By signatures. By payments. And when the laws were challenged, Kody's empire was exposed for what it really was, empty. And the person who brought that reality to light was Janelle. Years of silent calculation, years of sacrifices, years of keeping every receipt, all of it came to a head the day Janelle walked into an attorney's office, for the first time. Her mountain of evidence would be pitted against the empire Kody supposedly owned. Mrs. Brown, every single payment is made in your name. Mortgage payments, tax payments, documented and dated. Lawyer, legally, you can have full rights to Coyote Pass. Kody doesn't have a chance. Full rights. Yours. With one sentence, the tables were turned. The patriarch toppled. The demure wife enthroned. Kody's kingdom wasn't his any longer. Not in the law's book. Not on paper. And not in life. Kody thought that control was based on dominance, speeches, and power. But in one legal move, Janelle revealed the truth. Control is for the one who possesses the evidence. And in this situation, all the evidence bore Janelle's name. This was the breaking point. The time the empire broke. No longer mere murmurs of financial stress. No longer secret grievances. Now, it was no longer debatable. Kody Brown was no longer monarch of Coyote Pass. And the property he once boasted about? The property he flung his arms around as his vision of the future? Now, it was hers. But the collapse of an empire is never pure. Because the property was only the start. What Janelle didn't know yet was that there was another secret under the surface of Kody's empire. A secret stash. Hidden riches. And rumors of crypto. If you believe that losing Coyote Pass was the final kick to Kody, wait until you hear what might have been kept in the dark. Hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next installment, where we reveal the whispers of Kody's secret wealth, hidden not in property, but in virtual pockets. The legal coup. Empires do not always crumble in combat. Sometimes, they crumble on paper. For years, Kody Brown pranced down Coyote Pass, believing it was his right, his dream, his heritage, but he never knew the truth. He had left the back door wide open. And Janelle walked right through. This was not a war of words. Not a yelling battle in front of cameras. Not a family council staged by TLC. This was a surgical attack. A legal move so swift, so deadly, that by the time Kody knew what was going on, it was already over. Piece by piece, document by document, Janelle triggered the very loopholes Kody had disregarded. Flawed filings. Incomplete deeds. Absent signatures. One after another, a fracture in his kingdom. One after another, a tool in her arsenal. And then there was the bombshell filing, Kody Brown, ownerless. Janelle Brown, sole proprietor of Coyote Pass. With one sweep of the pen, the land that represented Kody's legacy was no more. The dream compound? Lost. The empire he vowed? Lost. And who stood triumphant? Janelle. The wife he had misjudged. The woman he had reduced to mere practicality. The one he had never thought would stand against him. She was now the legal queen of Coyote Pass. This was not just property. This was power. For years, Kody thought his grip was invincible. But in one legal coup, his empire fell apart. And let there be no doubt. This was not paperwork. This was war. And Janelle had won the first battle. The net exploded. Fans were stunned. Some said it was karma. Some said it was a plan. Others wondered if it was only the beginning, because if Janelle could just take the land, what else could she take? Whispers started to circle. That perhaps Coyote Pass wasn't the only empire that belonged to Kody. That perhaps, while his family believed they were broke, he had been shifting funds. In the shadows. Not in banks. Not in land. But in digital vaults. In something that few could ever track, cryptocurrency. The empire isn't over. It's hidden. You thought the land grab was shocking? Wait until you hear about the rumors of Kody's secret fortune, from buried gold to underground crypto wallets. Hit subscribe immediately, because the next installment will reveal the secret stash that will change everything we thought we knew about sister wives. The hidden stash. When Kody Brown lost the land, many believed it was the end. Coyote Pass dream was over. His empire destroyed. But suppose that land was never one empire? Because while viewers watched Kody crying broke, complaining about spending money, and begging his wives for allegiance, rumors started to circulate of something much more insidious. That Kody was secretly stashing money. Not in banks. Not in houses. But in locations no one could find. In digital wallets. In hidden caches. In secrets kept from his own household. Could the patriarch of sister wives have been leading a dual life of fiscal dishonesty? The timing is suspicious. In the mid-2010s, while Sister Wives remained one of TLC's most popular attractions, reality TV payouts were rolling in. Millions of dollars in income. But fans picked up on something odd. In spite of the fame, in spite of the money, the Browns were always broke. Always in debt. Always struggling. Where was all the money going? Some say Kody discovered his path into the crypto hype. That while his wives were paying bills, he was quietly investing money into virtual safes, wallets protected with keys only he possessed. A secret fortune. An insurance policy. Not for the family, but for himself. And then there was another rumor. That Kody wasn't only stashing money online. That somewhere along Coyote Pass, or somewhere else, there was physical gold stashed away. An honest-to-goodness treasure chest, buried in the desert. Gold bars and coins, perhaps even stacks of cash tucked away for the day his empire fell. Because perhaps, secretly, Kody knew it always would. The internet blew up with theories. Some of the fans insisted they saw hints, in off-camera shots, in candid interviews, in how Kody dodged questions about money. Others insisted blockchain experts followed suspicious withdrawals from accounts that could have belonged to him. And a sinister theory? That Janelle, now that she owned Coyote Pass, might have uncovered something more than property deeds. That she might have found the secret to Kody's cryptocurrency hoard. What a twist. Kody, grasping at control, keeping his money in cyberspace shadows. Until Janelle discovers the recovery key, the password, the verification of the wealth he never desired to reveal. If it is true, Janelle didn't just steal the land. She stole the fortune. And with it, the empire. But the question remains, is it real? Did Kody truly hide money in crypto wallets? Did he bury treasure in the desert? Or is it all smoke, mirrors, and rumor? One thing is true, the rumors themselves have ruined what little credibility he still had. The patriarch who once claimed wealth and vision now stands accused of being a man who cheated his family not only emotionally, but financially. For the fans, for the family, for Janelle? The reality of the stash is still the biggest question left unanswered. But wherever it's hidden in a safe, buried under sand, or stored in a cyber vault, one thing is certain, The kingdom Kody believed was his is no longer his. And Janelle, the reserved wife, might now be in possession of more than the property titles. She could be the keeper of the keys to the fortune itself. If you thought the land and crypto were jaw-dropping, wait until you get a glimpse at how the fans themselves piece together the truth. In the next chapter, we expose the wildest theories, the receipts, and the evidence uncovered by the internet sleuths that TLC did not want you to see. Hit subscribe now, because Chapter 7 will blow the roof off this whole story. The suspicious transactions, empires leave footprints. In ancient times, it was ruins. In modern times, it's paperwork. But in the digital age? The footprints are in the blockchain, and when the fans started sleuthing Kody Brown's money secrets, what they found wasn't sloppy documentation at Coyote Pass. It was digital footprints that created more questions than answers. Blockchain doesn't lie. Every step, every transfer, every coin, forever logged. Anonymous to the public, but trackable for those who know where to look. And then, rumors started to emerge. Kody had been transferring money. Heaps of it. Odd times. And not into banks, but into wallets. Fans saw a pattern. The minute after TLC paychecks deposited, the minute after property sold closed, money seemed to disappear. Not shown in bills, not seen in land improvements, not put into family homes. Instead, suspicious activity showed up. Traveling through wallets in layers, jumping like ghosts across the blockchain, and the question loomed, was Kody concealing the family fortune? In plain sight? Internet sleuths sniffed around. Reddit forums flashed. YouTube sleuths ran tests. TikTok theorists trended. Wallets connected to hefty incoming payments. Outgoing payments transferring to smaller wallets. Sometimes by the thousands. Sometimes tens of thousands. The timing? Suspicious. As if someone was going out of their way to drain money the instant it arrived. Some fans even alleged they correlated dates of transfers with timing on sister wives. An episode airs, TLC checks arrive. Weeks afterward, a huge transfer shows up on the blockchain. Coincidence? Or evidence? And this is where the speculation gets incendiary. Did Janelle, now in charge of the paperwork, happen upon something more? Passwords jotted down in ancient notebooks. Wallet addresses stored on shared computers, whispers of keys that unlock fortunes. If true, it wouldn't be a stash. It would be a betrayal. While Janelle paid taxes, while Christine fought independence, while Meri battled scraps, and while Robyn basked in being the favorite, Kody could have been sitting on millions. Millions that could have saved the family. Millions that could have constructed the compound, money that had instead gone into hiding, out of sight, beyond reach. The Webb jury had delivered its verdict. If these leads were legitimate, if these shady transactions were actually connected to Kody, then he wasn't simply guilty of conceit. He was guilty of betrayal. Not merely of Janelle. Not merely of Christine. But of the whole family. And perhaps even the fans who had held on to the vision of Coyote Pass. But the trail doesn't stop there. Because if these transactions are legitimate, then where is the money now? Who has the keys? And did Janelle reveal the ultimate secret when she staked out the land? If you felt like you couldn't believe your eyes, wait until you hear how fans connected the dots on the biggest theories. From hidden offshore accounts to treasure buried deep, hit subscribe now so you don't miss Chapter 8. In which we share the wildest fan sleuthing and the proof they say demonstrates the empire wasn't only broken, but was stolen. The empire crumbles. Kody Brown spent years crafting his persona based on one image, a visionary patriarch. Born to bring all of his wives and children under one kingdom at Coyote Pass, but over the course of months, that image crumbled. Initially, Janelle's legal blow took away the land from him. Next, the rumors of secret stashes depicted him as a man amassing riches while his family fell apart. And lastly, the incriminating money trails, speculations of crypto wallets and hidden gold, fanned a firestorm that destroyed whatever dignity was left. This wasn't just a personal loss. It was public humiliation. For a man who lived in the public eye, the downfall wasn't silent, it was broadcast, examined, and picked apart by millions. What started out as cracks in his marriage progressed to fissures in his empire. And then, the empire came crumbling down. Janelle is the true queen, she outmaneuvered him. Kody is done. He lost everything. I bet he did stash money. This is textbook Kody. Fans did not merely respond, they rose up. Reddit posts accumulated thousands of comments in one night. YouTube analysis amassed millions of views. TikToks with the hashtag Kody exposed and hashtag Janelle wins trended. The empire hadn't merely fallen in courtrooms and ledgers. It fell in the world's eyes. The wives themselves symbolized the downfall. Christine, liberated. Meri, abandoned. Robyn, desperate. And Janelle? Victorious. Kody was alone, his supposed kingdom not even filled with dirt, broken promises, and rumors of betrayal. The man who had ruled over a family of 4 wives and 18 children had become a king? Of nothing. The dream compound? Never constructed. The family harmony? Lost. The empire of Coyote Pass? Sold, stripped, dissolved. And over that all, the taint of financial impropriety, viewers no longer identified with Kody as a patriarch. They viewed him as a pretender. A gambler with love, with trust, and even perhaps money. Land gone. Family gone. Legacy gone. The empire did not go out in glory. It went out in silence. And among the remnants of what was once an empire, one name stood above them all, Janelle. The soft-spoken wife who was never meant to rule, became the one who brought the empire to its knees. And in the process, she rewrote sister wives' history forever. Do you believe Kody's empire was predestined to fail, or was it Janelle's genius that ultimately broke it? Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe, because next chapter will reveal the fans' most outlandish theories about Kody's secret stash, from offshore accounts to buried treasure. Fans react, the internet explodes. When the empire came crashing down, it made not just headlines. It set the internet ablaze. Fans, critics, and armchair viewers alike flooded the forums, filled social media, and created a tidal wave of theories, memes, and allegations. Kody Brown's downfall was no longer a family affair. It was a public spectacle, picked apart, ridiculed, and remembered by millions. At Sister Truth 88, the Queen is real. She just checkmated Kody with receipts. At Crypto Watcher 2024, I bet he's got Bitcoin stashed away. You can't dissuade me otherwise. At Polyg Drama Fan, Robyn's bawling while Janelle is sitting there quietly taking the land. Icon. The speculations varied from credible to outright astounding. Some surmised that Janelle had found a recovery phrase, the holy grail of a buried crypto wallet. Others fancied there was actual gold buried beneath Coyote Pass. A treasure chest Kody believed no one would ever discover, and some even wondered about Belize's offshore accounts. Secret safes and rental storage units, and illicit investments under family trusts. The net was an army of sleuths, and Kody was their #1 suspect. On Reddit, there were thousands of comments, with users analyzing from blockchain ledgers to suspicious property transfers. Others even asserted to have correlated certain transaction dates with TLC show airings, implying that money would just disappear into cyberspace as soon as it arrived. On TikTok, conspiracy theories became viral. Dramatic captions and short clips garnered millions of views. Kody's crypto stash is real. Janelle won more than just the land. Some of the producers even sketched out digital maps of Coyote Pass, staking X's in the desert and saying that's where the gold would be hidden. It was 50% financial investigation and 50% treasure hunt, and 100% habit forming for viewers everywhere. This isn't family drama, this is empire drama. Kody might have constructed the dream compound. What he actually constructed might have been a crypto vault. And throughout it all, one recurring theme again and again, Janelle's quiet brilliance. Followers celebrated her as the mastermind who had beaten Kody at his own game. The overlooked wife. The financial pillar. The silent strategist who toppled the empire. The internet consensus was merciless. Kody, the self-absorbed fantasist who lost everything. Janelle, the unacknowledged heroine who won. The empire was lost, but in its ashes, a new queen was crowned by the fans themselves. The internet spoke. Kody Brown's empire wasn't only crumbling, it was ridiculed, exposed, and redefined forever in the eyes of millions. And yet, one last question loomed. Was this only a legal and financial collapse? Or had Janelle revealed something more profound, something that would forever disestablish Kody's claim to heritage? Do you think the theories? Is there actually a secret crypto fortune? Or did the fans allow their minds to wander? Drop your comments below, and hit that like button so this video reaches all Sister Wives fans who need to know the truth, and don't miss subscribing. Because in the last chapter, we share the surprising twist that might destroy Kody's empire for good. Fans wondered for months. The rumors mounted for years. Did Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown secretly squirrel away a fortune as his family went without? And if so, where was it? Gold in the desert? Offshore accounts? Or cryptocurrency in wallets, sitting like a ticking time bomb waiting to be activated? The gossip alone ruined his reputation. But then the rumor no one thought would happen. That the reserved wife who already had the land, Janelle, might have discovered the keys to the fortune itself. Recovery phrases. Passwords. Keys written down years ago when Bitcoin was just beginning. What if Janelle discovered them? In paperwork shared in dusty old family records. On a computer Kody never thought she'd lay her fingers on. Because with those words, access is power. Picture it. Not only did she take the land rightfully, but perhaps she opened the secret safe that Kody had concealed from all of them. If true, Janelle didn't simply conquer Coyote Pass. She didn't simply vanquish the patriarch. She inherited the empire. In totality. Land. Leverage. Legacy. And the stash. The wives each played their part. Christine fled. Meri survived. Robyn complied. But Janelle? She overwhelmed. In quiet. In cunning. With restraint. With evidence. The man who used to think he was a king lost his crown to the queen he never even saw. And in the end, the empire wasn't Kody's. It was Janelle's. The land. The power. The fortune. And the biggest plot twist of all? The empire Kody constructed to ensure his legacy could now be Janelle's alone. This isn't merely family drama. This isn't merely TLC programming. This is empire war, and Janelle Brown might have taken it all. The world might never know whether or not Kody's secret cache ever existed, but something is certain: Janelle's subtle genius turned everything on its head. She bested him. She overthrew him. And she rewrote the script of sister wives history forever. Were you surprised by this odyssey from land wars to crypto conspiracies? Smash that like button and share this video with all your sister wives friends. And don't forget to subscribe, because it ain't over. There are still secrets TLC never aired, and I'll be exposing them in our next deep dive. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. The end? Or the beginning?